Well, Arsenal have submitted a £60 million bid for Moises Caicedo, who plays for Brighton. Talks are really advanced, and anytime from now, we might hear whether the bid has been accepted or a bid has been rejected. Then we are talking about Weston McKennie coming in from Juventus. So much linked to Arsenal, but Arsenal putting in a submission of £60 million for Moises Caicedo dies a natural death. All makes this story of Abraham Bamba and a player called Maxton Winston, or he's called McCain, a natural death. All those two stories have died a natural death because Arsenal looks like they've made the right choice of a player they want to bring in at their club known as Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. And after all that, Rokan David is my name. So good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. Let's get this started. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. 1. David Austin was the first to open up the plans of Arsenal that Arsenal do want to invest at least in midfield, whether it's a permanent or loan deal. Certainly in the last week of the window, that midfield is one to watch, meaning that Arsenal were looking for midfielder. And why were they looking for midfielder? It was simple. Arsenal lost out on another midfielder known as Elneny, meaning that they are left with two midfielders that play in the stadium position. One known as Caicedo, one known as Thomas Partey, and the other is Albert Sambi Lokonga. Now, but of the two, Mikel Arteta trusts Thomas Partey only. He doesn't trust Salbat Ambilokonga, and they knew that if at all Thomas Partey gets an injury, their season is going to be ruined. So they never wanted to give a chance to anything else. They brought in a forward, they brought in a defender, and now they've brought in a midfielder who is going to be, they are looking for a midfielder by the names of Caicedo to come in and do the needful and get the job done. Now, then Jacobs Ben told us that Liverpool, a team that was so much linked to Caicedo and Chelsea, he told us that Liverpool are no longer in the race of Moises Caicedo because they believe even £65 million is too much for the midfielder, let alone meeting his £75 million asking price. That is it. He was on the Dan Deal show. That is a man known as Jacobs Ben, and he said Liverpool are really pushed out of the deal because they think that the player is really priced out of the move. So a lot of money, 75 or 65 million pounds for him, is really something that they couldn't go ahead and really afford to say that they really pay out that amount of money in the next 1 or 2 days that are really going to come in through. Then Fabrizio Romano later today, I think like 30 minutes back, he broke the story that exclusive Arsenal have submitted £60 million bid to sign Moises Caicedo as new midfielder. Chelsea had £55 million verbal proposal rejected this January as Brighton hope to keep the player, but Arsenal are now pushing. Negotiations enter into key stages for Caicedo's future. Now, I told you something, if at all you remember that when I did this Caicedo story, that Caicedo has just changed his agent. Who is the agent of Caicedo? The agent of Caicedo is the same agent as that of Franz Neda. And Franz Neda is the right back that Arsenal was talking to bring at Valladolid, though everything has not yet been sorted, but it looks like Arsenal want to sign the player. That agent of Franz Neda is the new agent of Caicedo, and he found himself at Arsenal last week to discuss the deal. Now, we don't know whether when he went at London Conley, he also discussed Caicedo because he had just signed Caicedo as his new client, and that made talks very easy. And to me, I'm not surprised to see it that things are really accelerating to this level because it looks like personal terms have been agreed. By the way, personal terms have been agreed by Arsenal and Caicedo's agent because they have been talking. They've been talking about a deal of Franz Neda. Now, Caicedo is into the move because Arsenal need a midfielder and they need a solid midfielder. And I tell you, Caicedo goes to Arsenal, he can even bench Thomas Partey. He has more attributes onto the game than Thomas Partey. And these players, when they're playing for teams like Brighton, they are undermined. You know why? They are not at the high stage, you get, of the game of football. Remember, N'Golo Kante was playing for Leicester City, and few really thought that his potential was really out of this world. But when he went to Chelsea, everyone was talking about N'Golo Kante as the best CDM in the world by then. So I believe Caicedo's move from Brighton to Arsenal is really going to push him high into ratings of one of the best CDMs in the world. That is Caicedo, and obviously a £60 million bid has been submitted for Moises Caicedo. But the big question is, will Brighton accept that amount of money? Why? They said they want £75 million, meaning that they want like £60 million of guaranteed fees and £15 million of add-on. So I think Arsenal have to negotiate that fee down. That's it. Because if they're really going to get this player, they need to pay close to £75 million. I don't know how Brighton can go ahead and really sell a defender known as Chuchurela £65 million and sell the best player at Brighton as Moises Caicedo at only £60 million. I believe this bid might get rejected, and Arsenal might be planning to get in another bid, according to what I know. Reason being, Brighton is a team that sticks onto its hooks and decisions. Arsenal needs to go ahead and really add on some money. But as Arsenal is really planning to go ahead and really negotiate this deal to get it done, they should be looking at their back to see who is coming. Chelsea is one of those teams that we are pushing in for Caicedo, and Fabrizio is telling you that a £55 million verbal bid or proposal was rejected by Brighton. Meaning that Arsenal did it on Chelsea did it on Mykhailo Modric. They came in through and hijacked the deal. You remember that very well. Now, can they go ahead and hijack this one too? Are the side mirrors of Arsenal on? Is Arsenal scanning? Is Edu scanning and really knowing that no way we are losing this player? Because when you look at Moises Caicedo, one will say he would like to go and play for a team that has his former manager, that is Graham Potter, that is Chelsea. But I believe in this world, no player wouldn't like to lift a trophy. Arsenal is 5 points clear ahead of City. Arsenal have brought in Trossard. They've brought in Jakub Kweya. They bring Moises Caicedo. It's like a cherry on the cake. It's like the final nail in the coffin, because I believe Caicedo at Arsenal, he's going to win them that league trophy. Because for him, he can play in the midfield too. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as a CDM. He can play as a central attacking midfielder. And secondly, his composure and intelligence and football and his being technical in the game of football in the final third of the opponent is more than that of Thomas Partey. You get? He's really anticipative. He's innovative. He's industrious in that area. Meaning that if you bring on Caicedo, you are not only bringing on a player who is going to protect your back four, but a player who is really going to come with assists and come with what we call goals. You see like what Casemiro is doing at Manchester United? That's exactly what Caicedo is going to do for Arsenal if it really comes in through. And I confirm this for the second time. Arsenal signed Caicedo, final stamp into the winning of the Premier League. That's it. Because games of football are won and lost in the midfield. You have Caicedo, it doesn't even guarantee Thomas Partey a starting position. What does that mean? Thomas Partey will need to add on more to what has been giving Arsenal, because there has come a competitor that is equally or even better than what he gives Arsenal. And he's young, 21 years of age, but he's playing at a world stage. This Caicedo guy, clip this, record this, keep it in your mind. At Arsenal, he's going to be one of the best CDMs in the world in the next 2 or 3 years. Trust me. And one will ask me, where does this leave the deal of Declan Rice? That is the most important thing, because Arsenal, we are looking at Declan Rice, and I believe they might go in for him because Arteta might be looking at Thomas Partey as a player who is really dying out and phasing out. You know, we might be here not knowing that maybe Thomas Partey is playing on painkillers, because everyone is asking himself, what is that charm that Arsenal did, all used on Thomas Partey, to play close to 11 games and take close to how many months? Close to 3-4 months without getting injured. So, I think there is that uncertainty at a team called Arsenal. That's why they want to get in Declan Rice too. So I believe it's not a final nail. It's not a final nail in the coffin for Declan Rice, as it's their summer target. But if you see them bring in Caicedo, it gives you a little bit of confirmation that maybe the story I did yesterday of Federico Chiesa being Arsenal's summer transfer target priority is true. Not so? So that is Caicedo for you. Arsenal need to keep their side mirrors on to see to it that Chelsea doesn't come and really hijack this deal. Now, the other story that has really gone ahead to die a natural death is this one of Bamba. Ibrahim Bamba plays for Benfica, and obviously we had a story coming in from Sports Witness that Arsenal are closing in on a 27 million euro deal for Ibrahim Bamba. It is claimed that even though the player draws the interest from several European clubs, it's Arsenal whoever been tightening the siege for his transfer, meaning that is not true. It's not happening. Arsenal have decided to go in for a Premier League proven player known as Caicedo. As they did on Trossard, they've gone in for a Premier League player, because in the Premier League right now, you'll get to know that if you want to win the Premier League, you have to bring in players who have been playing in the Premier League in January transfer window, because it is really imminent. It's imminent. The midfield situation of Arsenal is really dangerous. So they need to get in an imminent signing that is coming from the Premier League that is going to fix that position as soon as possible. That is it. Now, even Fabrizio Romano has confirmed to us that Leeds are pushing to get Weston McKennie. Remember, Weston McKennie is that player that was linked to Arsenal. That is it. That his agent was in London to discuss with very many teams, but the coming in of a deal of Caicedo that Arsenal have made a £60 million bid, that really puts this deal into the dustbin for Arsenal, and obviously good for a side known as Leeds. And it's telling us that talks continue with Juventus after positive contacts on Thursday. McCain has agreed personal terms with Leeds today, has agreed personal terms days ago, but it's not done deal between clubs yet. That is what Fabrizio Romano told us about McCain. So it shows you that Arsenal have chosen their midfielder. It's not Ibrahim Bamba, it's not McCain, it's not Zubimendi. It's obviously a player known as Moises Caicedo, 21 years of age, playing for a team known as Brighton. Now, even Jacobs Ben has told us that Leeds in advanced discussions on McCain. He has spoken to Jesse Marsh, who sees him operating effectively with Tyler Adams. Broad consensus over guaranteed fee, and talks continue over total package. As reported, Juventus want 30 million euros. McCain is Leeds' top priority. Now, it shows you that Arsenal have really made a very right decision, because McCain might be a very good midfielder, but where do you get the guarantee that is going to hit the ground running at Arsenal in the Premier League? That guarantee is written nowhere. That's why Arsenal have decided to go on and say, let's go in for a Premier League proven player. I told you, Arsenal have the money. Arsenal have the money. Where is this money coming in from? Arsenal made sales last summer and loan fees collection close to £40 million. They had a budget of £200 million to spend in the summer, but they only spent £121 million, meaning that they are left with £80 million. Now, 80 plus the 40 coming in from the sales and loan fees, that is £120 million. £120 million, they've gone ahead to spend 21 on Trossard. The add-ons will come in it, I don't count them. 20 on a player called Jakub Kjaer, that is £41 million, meaning that they're having 59 plus 20. They're having close to £80 million left. What does that mean? They can get off the 65 or 75 and bring in a player called Moises Caicedo, a signing that is meant to be a trophy-winning sign, because he's going to conceal that entire midfield. He's going to be the heartbeat of Arsenal. He's going to operate the engine room like no other. He's going to epitomize that CDM position of Arsenal, because you can't play Thomas Partey in all these games. And secondly, Arsenal is in the UEFA Europa League. I don't know how today Arsenal is going to perform in the FA Cup, but in the UEFA Europa League, Caicedo can go on and play there very well, and you won't even call for Thomas Partey to come in through. That's it. Because Caicedo, to me, Caicedo is better than Thomas Partey. However, much people don't really want to hear this, but Caicedo, at the age of 21, he's playing at a high level, And at the age of 21, Thomas Partey was not playing like Caicedo. That's it. So, thank you very much for watching in through. Your reactions to Arsenal submitting a £60 million bid for Moises Caicedo to Brighton are welcome in the comment section below. And tell me, would you go Caicedo? Would you go Abraham Bamba? Or would you go Weston McKennie? Because all those three were linked to Arsenal, and maybe Arsenal made contacts, and they've now sat down and made an ultimatum that it's Caicedo over Weston McKennie and Bamba. Thank you very much for watching in through. I'm waiting for your reactions. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is Rokani David, and this is the first video of the demo. Is yet to come. Smash the like button, comment and share, and don't forget to really say a prayer and thank the Almighty God for the gift of life. I sign out for now. See you later. More is yet to coming on this channel. Arsenal taking on City later tonight. We are going to be here live to really let you know of what we think this game of football is really going to be all about. Not so? So guys, it's always nice having you on this channel. Rokani David, Rokani Media Football YouTube channel, and you guys, bye-bye.